Okay, welcome back, guys. So today we're going to still be working on a brush tool and how to use a brush tools because it's a little confusing. You have a few brush tools that when you first open up your file and you open up your window, you're going to see just one brush tool, and that's going to be this guy, the classic brush tool. Now, your classic brush tool isn't going to be able to do all the different options that you can do in your brush library. And I didn't know that. I was like, why is not work? Why isn't it working? Well, because a classic brush tool can't do all these different options in um, you can't do all these different options, so you can't do that. So what you want to do is you want to go down all the way down here because it's not, these aren't going to appear. It's just going to be your classic here, your classic brush tools going to be in your toolbox and your fluid brush tool. So these aren't even going to appear. So what you want to do to add them to your tool box, you're going to come up here and you're going to click bing, and it's going to highlight it, and you just hold on and drag it to your toolbox. So you want to pick the brush tool, you want to pick the pencil tool, and you want to drag this into your toolbox. So once you do that, you're ready to go. So you just click this here, it's gone. And so what we'll do first, I'll show you. Okay, so say for example, you're in the classic brush tool, and I am going to draw something. And the reason why this has this really cool, like almost like a roller coaster effect to it, is that I've changed my brush type, and there's a bunch of different brush types. So let's go over the brush types. So your first brush type would be this guy, and it's going to be your pretty basic brush. And then you go to this guy, and this one's going to be here. And you see how it gives this really cool, almost three-dimensional look to it. Pretty cool, huh? And then we keep going here, and here's this guy. Do this one here, and this one's also, they're a little different, but I mean, when you start drawing, and if you're just using a mouse like I'm using right now, it's easier to draw different things with all these different options. Here's this one's just a straight square. Go here. And that one's also a straight square. But you know what you want to do is you want to experiment. So I suggest you go through all of them. You see this one? Kind of cool, huh? Go through all of these guys. But for now, let's get rid of this. Come here to selection. We'll grab all of these. We'll get rid of them. And just click delete. Okay, so let's go back. Let's go to your let's stay here on your regular tool, which is, and why isn't it coming up? Your classic brush tool. And let's change the brush type back to your classic brush type, which is your default. And we'll do that. Okay, so it's your basic one. Let's actually try to use a different paintbrush. Okay, so we're gonna come up here, going to go to arrow. We're going to try to hit that. We're going to double click that. It's going to add it to our library. Wait a minute. Why isn't it adding to the library? What's going on? No options at all. No options at all. Well, let's try it again. Let's try this one. Wait a minute. Nothing's working. I can't use anything. Okay, well, the reason you can't use anything is because you are in the wrong tool. So we're going to go up to this tool, the paintbrush tool, and it's going to bring all the different vector brushes in. So now you see the stroke style came in. It's going to be the arrow, and we're going to draw the arrow. Woo, there's the arrow. Okay. Let's go to the actual brush library. Let's see what else we want. So I'm going to go to decorative. You have arrow, which is all these cool arrow specials, and you scroll down, there's tons of arrows. Your arrow classic and standards, which is very cool. You can pick any of these and I'll add it right to your library, but you have to double click. See how this is double click? You have to double click to use them. Artistic with a charcoal look to it, or the really neat ink look to it. Yes, paintbrushes, scroll pen. Very cool. Let's try this one for a second. See what this does. Oh, that's kind of cool. So you could do so many different things. Right here's your width. It's going to be how big do you want it? Do you want it large like this? I mean, there's different ones you could pick. So we're not going to play around with that right now. I'm just showing you different options. Right here, you can reset profiles. Let's not even deal with that right now. Let's keep the stroke down at 10 because stroke is how big you want it. Like if I brought it all the way big here, yeah, you don't want that. So we're going to keep this down here. Okay, so here that's in the different vector brushes are going to be in your paintbrush tool here. Again, this will not work on your classic brush tool. So there's your different options. So let's go to this one here. And this one's is called your fluid brush tool, which is very cool. So again, you go into the property and you'll be able to adjust it to different things. Let's go to stabilizer and let's see what that does. So let's mess this to here. It does that. Does that. Interesting. Okay, let's change the curve. Let's go to curve. Whoa, you see how it gets this kind of a curvy kind of feel to it? See that? Kind of like a squirrel looking. Let's go to roundness. Roundness is going to come up like that. And like I said, just experiment with different things. Angles is really fun because it gives that angle again, kind of like the squirrel. Taper is very cool because it's going to start, thin and then get larger. The pressure is, we will have to talk about that later. So there you have it. So here's a fluid brush tool, the classic brush tool, the paintbrush tool, and then the pencil. The pencil is, has these different options to it. Again, it comes with different options. See why it's so big? If we were to go with a stroke lower, make it smaller at 5. 0.1 is super small, 0.1. So just play around with that. And then you always have the different colors you could use. So that's it for this one. I just wanted to show you guys because a lot of the time people are trying to do the different options of vector with these cool shapes. And they're stuck on the classic brush tool and they're like, oh my God, why is it not working? Well, the reason it's not working is because you have to pick the paintbrush tool to do this. And again, if you don't see that in your toolbox, you want to go down to this little circle here. I mean, these 3 little dots, click on that, and it's going to give you all the different options that you could use, and all the different tools that can't fit on this, because not all of them could fit. Only, the most important. Well, what they think is the most important. It's up to you as an artist. You pick out what's the most important. And then to close it, how do you close this? You would hit, let's see here. How would you close? Oh, you hit this again. Bing, and it's closed. Oops. Closed. You remember how to erase everything? You click Control on your keyboard, minus, and you go to selection, and you do this. So that's it. Was those 3 different, or actually 4 different options of the paintbrush. And yeah, in the next episode or the next lesson, we're actually going to use these and create some art. But for now, this is super important. I just wanted to show you guys these 3 tools. Thank you guys.